And hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Success Scopes, our follow-up Friday here. Hello, I see that Carolyn Farron is the first one to join us today. Thank you so much. I know we switched the time today. We're normally here Fridays at 2 p.m., but it's been such a awesome, exciting, productive week for me that I've been getting a lot done. It's just been an amazing week. So, and hats off to everyone who's gotten anything accomplished this week, accomplishing our goals. So, wrong one. There we go. Our hand claps to everybody that's accomplished their goals this week. Yes. Hi, Diana. I see you joined us. Thank you so much for being with us today. I know we got a time change today, but I thank you so much. We're here for our follow-up Friday. For those who don't know me, my name is Carolyn Owens, and I'm the chairwoman and CEO of Infinity Coaching Incorporated, where we help you up-level your skills so you can up-level your income. And we're here on Mondays typically at 2 p.m., where we provide you some tips and strategies to help you, stay focused and move forward during the week and in accomplishing your goals and your dreams so you can have success on your own terms. And then we come back on Fridays and do a quick check-in before you start your weekend and really kind of see how did you do implementing some of those tips and strategies. And I'm pretty excited for this weekend. I had the honor of sponsoring an event in my local area here. It's a spa networking luncheon that's being put on. It's the charity edition that's being put on by Tamika Joseph Smith, and she's the CEO of Diamond Event Services. And through her company, Make It Diamond, she helps put on some great events. And this particular one is one that she's hosting, and it's a guest speaker, Coach Sharita Phillip, and it's just an amazing time. There's going to be, again, the charities will speak. There's going to be some chair massages. There's about 4 of us that have sponsored the event that will have an opportunity to speak. And this will be the first time that I have a awesome door prize that I will be able to give out this time, and I just wanted to kind of share it with you guys because this is one of the ones that it's going to be this kind of whole set that I'm giving out. And this is one of the mugs we have. If you can see, it says success on your own terms, and on the back it has our Infinity Coaching Career and Professional Development. So that'll be in our little packet we give away, along with our matching pin that goes with it. It says the success on your own terms. Pretty cool. And we have our, here it is, our little notebooks. It says Infinity Coaching, and it already has, I know it's early, but it has that 2017 calendar because it was too close to the end of the year. But it's pretty cool. And our book, one of the books from one of the coaching programs I got certified with is Energy Leadership, and they'll get that. And also, it'll all come in our wonderful tote bags we have. You see it has it on there, the Infinity Coaching, so I think that's pretty neat. But there'll be a whole bunch of stuff in there. Since it's a spa networking luncheon, we're going to have some stuff there that they'll be able to see that's going to just help them take the event home with them. And they'll also get a 3 months in our inner circle for free. They'll be able to join us there, which is kicking off next month. I knew you were going to say that, Carolyn Farron, that you wanted it. Actually, yours looks totally different, so you'll have to see. But we're kicking off our inner circle next month, and so the person who wins this door prize raffle will be able to participate in that for 3 months and really get an opportunity to see what we do. I'm very excited about tomorrow. Just to also hear the speaker, and let me tell you, the food that they have planned for it is awesome. It's a 3-course menu, 3-course meal there, dessert, everything. So it's going to be great. So that's going to be the highlight of my weekend. I'll get to tell you guys about it on Monday. But on our Success Scopes, we have been talking a lot about sleep deprivation, and we winded that down. For those who haven't seen it, you can catch I've uploaded all of the past scopes onto YouTube, and you can go to our YouTube channel there, infinitycoaching.net/YouTube, and you can hear all about the discussions and things we talked about when it came to sleep deprivation, the signs, the impact, and some strategies. And so on Monday, we started switching topics, and we started talking about personal responsibility. So before I touch that, today marks the last day of the end of the third quarter. And actually, that's based on the calendar year. A lot of people, there's some people who use the system of fiscal year, the fiscal year. So October 1st to March starts a whole new year for them. And it's an opportunity, be it if you're coming into the fourth quarter, or if you're starting your first quarter for the fiscal year, it's an ideal time to kind of do a check-in with yourself and see, are your values in alignment with the actions and things that you've been doing, the steps that you've been taking. How are you achieving to working towards your goals? So that's that, I like to do it at that quarterly mark, once a quarter, just kind of take and assess, where am I? How am I on my happiness level there, and different things. So it's a great opportunity. And as we go into the end of that third quarter and we start and we look, like I said, we're talking about personal responsibility. And on Monday, we talked about being a victim. And I went over that textbook definition of responsibility and personal responsibility. But really, when it comes down to it, the bottom line is about we choose our own actions. We choose the decisions and different things that are going to be the choices we make. And then the consequences that come with that. There are good consequences, there can be bad consequences, but it's about taking that responsibility. Now, it doesn't mean that we have this complete control over everything that's going to happen to us, that we can't choose we don't choose our parents, we don't choose how, we can't totally control how our kids are going to turn out, but that it influences the decisions we make. And a lot of it, how does it impact our experiences, our lives, the different things. But one thing that's constant that we can control is ourselves. We can control the decisions and choices that we make. But a lot of times we end up turning situations where we place the blame on other people, and we allow our circumstances, we allow the different things that have happened to us to keep us prisoner. It keeps us in a prisoner and it doesn't have to be physical. It keeps us as a prisoner of our mind, that we're not able to break through some of the limiting beliefs and challenges that we've experienced. And so we become into this victim state where we're always looking at, well, it's because of them, it's because of this. But a lot of times those are things, like you said, we can't choose our parents, but we can choose our future. We can choose those decisions that we're going to make. And see, if we allow ourselves to be this victim and be trapped, we're not living up to our full God-given potential. And see, the one thing God gives us is free will. He gives us the opportunity to make these choices. And like I said, there's consequences that come with those choices. But when we have those consequences that come, and if there are bad consequences, if they're good consequences, are we taking responsibility for that outcome? Instead of blaming everyone else, are we holding on to that prison that we keep ourselves in? And when we do that, when we put ourselves in that victim state, when we allow, it's like we kind of surrender control of our life, that we're just totally giving it up, and we're sitting here staying in this mediocre life, just existing. We're not fully living. And to me, that's no way to live. And we get in this state, and years will go by, and just keep existing, but it's not really being in that full state of joy, being happy, and we're not living up to our full potential. I believe that we have these gifts to share with everyone, and we talk about what we value and what our purpose is. But if we're not living in alignment with that, and we're keeping ourselves in this victim state, it's really no way to live. But we'll do that to ourselves. We keep ourselves in this state. And sometimes we do it without even realizing it, because it becomes such a commonplace for us that it's the only existence, that we kind of built this world that we know, and we don't realize that there is something better for us. We don't see it, we don't experience it, we don't live it. We just keep ourselves in this prison, and it's that state of mind that we keep ourselves in. And so we become a victim to our thoughts, we become a victim to our beliefs, our emotions, our perceptions, the way we begin to view things. And it will hold us back from success. It will hold us back, like, from sharing our gifts and from having that success that we can all have. But our definition of success, because what success will look like for me is not the same as what it will look like for you. And it's just first even understanding, what is it you value? What is it that you truly want out of life? And sometimes we'll get so caught up in that victim state that we live in this a world of doubt and fear and worry and low self-esteem, and we lack self-confidence. And oftentimes we don't see how we can shift that, how we can get ourselves out of that victim state. And so we end up continuously in this cycle where we're blaming everybody else, and we don't have the self-confidence, and we don't have the a high self-esteem. And then we oftentimes can avoid making certain decisions, and we will avoid making decisions, but we'll also avoid taking action. We'll do some things that we really don't want to do, but then we won't do some things at all. And what we don't realize is not taking action is a choice. It is a decision that we're choosing not to do something. So we stay like stuck. And yeah, is there advantages to kind of keeping ourselves like this? It's a way that we protect ourselves. We protect ourselves from getting hurt. Especially when it comes to caring about people or caring about something, it's a very good way that we'll put up a wall, and we won't let anyone or anything get through that wall. But we still keep ourselves in this victim state, and that, how do we start shifting? Begin by answering the question, do you want to exist or do you want to live? And we have our affirmation that we had throughout the week, and it was, my success is my responsibility. So it's my success is my responsibility, not just in your personal life, but in your professional life as well. Success is your responsibility. It's about you being the CEO of your future. Figure out, how do I want to live? And you got to start. The main thing is start by owning your choices, owning the decisions you make, and accepting responsibility for all that you do. If it's, if you have something that happens and the consequences or, the circumstances don't turn out exactly the way you wanted it to, find a lesson in it. Don't just begin to beat yourself up or think, oh my God, it's not perfect. Because really there's a lot of times there is no perfect time to start certain things. If you thought about, wanting a career change, or you wanted to even start your own business, or you start about like jumping on here and doing scopes like we do, you'll see me doing, or other people that the scopes that you watch, and you think, hey, I can do this, but you sit there holding yourself back. You got to go ahead and step outside of that and be able to say, yeah, okay, I can do this, and I'll know, and I'll learn from what happens. I'm sorry, I was losing my bracelet here. But as you do that, as you begin to accept responsibility, and as you really begin to look at, the life you want, you're going to see that your self-esteem is going to increase, and there's going to be so many positive emotions and feeling of empowerment, because how people view you when you start taking responsibility for your actions, there's a difference. People will really hold you at a high level of esteem, and they're going to be like, wow, okay, yeah. It's a big difference. And so that's what I really want you to think about as you thought about it this week, as you thought about it this weekend. How do you want to live? Do you want to live or do you want to exist? Is it time for you to start taking responsibilities for your actions and start shifting yourself from this victim state? And no, I could sit here and do this scope here 15 minutes or so and tell you, yeah, it's time to start taking responsibility. It's time to do these things. But yes, it's not always that easy, because if you've had yourself in this state where you've kind of been kind of trapped, where you have had these thoughts and you've had these beliefs, because the longer you surround yourself in that, the harder it is to break away from it, the harder it is to begin to believe in yourself, to lift that self-esteem up, to lift that self-confidence up. And you got to think, you probably have people around you who like you just the way you are, being miserable, because misery loves company. The crabs in a bucket, we're going to keep pulling each other down. Because as you begin to shift, I think you guys have heard me say before about the people we surround ourselves with, and as far as how that influences you. They say you are the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. How is that influencing you? Do you have the naysayers in your life? Do you have the people? There are some people who like to keep other people in a victim state. They don't want to see them grow. They don't want to see the changes that they're going to make. So it's also something to think about. But again, like I said, it's not a snap overnight that you begin to make just these wonderful, miraculous changes. It takes time. And so that's why next Monday we're going to talk a little bit more about personal responsibilities and some of the things for you to think about and shift when we think about people who complain a lot. You know, what's that really about? You know, we see them as whining and complaining, but a lot of times there's so much more to it. But we tend to be so judgmental about other people that we don't take a minute to think about the journey that they've been through, the steps that they've walked through, the circumstances that what they may be going through right now. I taught a class not too long ago, and one of the people spoke up in class and said how they came in that morning and somebody said something to them that was so negative about the way they walked in. And that person just had the most terrible morning, but they made judgment and accusations against her just from the way she walked in the room. And we were talking about how can you not be so judgmental when we look at other people. And instead of saying, hey, is everything okay? You know, a couple people lashed out at her that morning, and it kind of hurt her. But in hearing that experience and what had happened, they thought about it for a minute and said, whoa, you know, I did just make a slap judgment right away, not even taking time to figure out, hey, is everything okay? And in reality, it wasn't okay. But just thinking about that. But, you know, I can go on and on about personal responsibility, but hey, you know, these scopes are short. We keep them to 15 minutes if we can, 15, 20 minutes to kind of just, again, Fridays here, that follow-up, that wrap-up, kind of reminder about the points we talked in, and hope that you'll think about it, like I said, over the weekend till we come back on Monday and talk a little bit more about personal responsibility. If you want to keep the conversation going, you could join us in our free Facebook group that we have. It's in the Infinity Coaching, infinitycoaching.net/community, and we'll invite you, and I mean, it's, you know, kind of ask a couple questions before you come in. It's a very professional group, very close-knit group, but it's definitely a place to keep conversation going as we continue to move forward and have up-level our skills so we can up-level our income and our life. So if you have any questions for me, you can always email me at cowens@infinitycoaching.net. I would say I thank you guys so much for coming and hopping on with me today. I know I'm a little late today. We're normally here Fridays at 2 p.m., Mondays at 2 p.m. And I'm kind of thinking about jumping on. Thank you so much. Carolyn Perrin, who's a regular listener here, was saying all she can say is wow. She often kind of messages me throughout the week, and yes, she is my mom, but she messages me during the week about different things that I talk about in the scopes and how it impacts her. And I got a couple other people who are regular watchers or do the same thing, will kind of give me feedback on what they're doing throughout the week. So, and I thank you and I appreciate all of you guys for that. So again, if you have any questions, email me. You can always visit my website, which is infinitycoaching.net. And again, I appreciate you. Have an awesome, wonderful, blessed weekend. I know what I was saying. I kind of, you know, lost thought for a minute. But I've been thinking about jumping up here on here one more time during the week to do some real talk. You know, those tough situations that happen in your work environment sometimes throughout the day, and how do you handle those situations? It stems from something that happened to me the other day in Target, and I'll get into that at another time. But there's a lot of real talk that needs to take place right now. There's kind of a lot of tense situations and different things going on, and we don't think about how it impacts our career and our personal life. But really have an opportunity to just like one day a week hop on here and talk about do real talk. Talk about some issues here. So if you think that'd be a good idea, you can go ahead and shoot me an email, cowens@infinitycoaching.net, or I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. Just search Carolyn R. Owens and you'll find one of my social media sites, and you can connect with me there. Or on my website, there is a contact me form. And if you think that's a great idea, definitely let me know. Because it's been something I've been thinking about doing just at least once a week, doing some real talk. Again, thank you for being here with me. I want you guys to have an awesome, awesome, blessed week. And until next time, here's to your success. See ya.